Kareem. I'm in year 9 and I'm going to be speaking about eating disorders. For many young people, including myself, Donneville Joan's life seemed picture perfect and even admirable. She was going hard at the gym for an hour and a half every day. She was meticulously counting her calories on an app to control every last bite. She was eating clean and looking amazing, and to many of us, we would say that she was living her best life. Little would we know that she was having headaches and felt lethargic, causing her to quit gymnastics, the sport that she loves. Little would we know that little by little she was losing friends as she withdrew from social events. Little would we know how guilty she felt, feeling so sly and deceptive around the people that she cared about the most, like her family and her friends. Little would we know that Donneville Joan spent her 16th birthday in hospital. But what could possibly be wrong with an obsession with clean eating? How could this result in so much suffering, in her being hospitalized and eventually diagnosed with an eating disorder? Well, what we as a community don't know is that Donnie suffered from orthorexia. Simply put, orthorexia is an obsession with clean or righteous eating. Symptoms include cutting out processed food, cutting down calorie content, and over-exercising. Like all other eating disorders, it is a psychological battle with food. This devastating and life-threatening condition is certainly not in the spotlight because we as a community fail to see the very urgent red flags in cases like Donnie's. Our lack of awareness and warped perception regarding eating disorders is the very reason why young people like Donnie have to spend their 16th birthday in hospital. Even more common eating disorders like anorexia or bulimia, despite their starkly negative nature, are portrayed in a positive light. We need to bring all of these eating disorders into the spotlight to change the way that we perceive and portray them. Right now, 70% of young people are on platforms like Instagram and TikTok. These platforms transparently promote eating disorders with hashtags like pro-Anna, pro-anorexia, pro-Mia, pro-bulimia, and thinspo, thin inspiration, as well as images of people suffering from eating disorders and captions like, being skinny feels better than food tastes. According to experts like dietitian Tanya Ferrarato, we are seeing an increased incidence of orthorexia, which seems to have parallels with the increased use of social media. For many people, especially people who already struggle with their body image or have or continue to suffer from eating disorders, this very widespread content is quite literally deadly. It is appalling that such glorification of something that can harm and even kill so many people is something that exists. According to Eating Disorders Australia, people who suffer from anorexia are 31 times more likely to commit suicide than people who are not sufferers of eating disorders. Likewise, those with bulimia, 7.5 times more likely, and similar trends occur for the other eating disorders. So it is very clear that we need change in the way that we perceive and portray these eating disorders, but more specifically, what does this look like? Fortunately, we can see some change coming. While there are plenty of hashtags out there like ProMia and Thinspo, there's also BOPO, body positivity, and many other movements that strive to embrace plus-size individuals and individuals from diverse backgrounds. A study conducted by the University of Technology Sydney and Macquarie University found that when involving 135 women aged between 18 and 30 and showing them body positive content, they felt more satisfied with their bodies, more appreciative of the unique health and functions of their bodies, and had an overall more positive mood. This very clearly illustrates to us that social media does have the capacity to be a force of good when it comes to body positivity. However, we need to support, like, and follow content that makes us feel better about ourselves rather than following unrealistic or dangerous content. Furthermore, we need change in our discourse regarding eating disorders. We need to stop stigmatizing and delegitimizing this issue. A way in which we can do this is by calling out harmful trends like fat shaming within our social circles, whether that be our friends, our family, or our colleagues. We also need more awareness regarding the signs and symptoms of eating disorders so that we can look out for the people around us when going through such struggles. This way, we can hope to live in a world where young people like Donnie no longer feel the unrelenting pressure to change themselves, where they do not starve themselves, where their suffering does not go unnoticed and their sacrifices are not glorified. We do not need to live in a world where people die in the name of beauty. We can live in this world where the changes that we make, that our family and friends make, and that our wider community make, we can make a difference and bring the support and change to these people who are suffering.